Hi all. Welcome to my channel. Disclaimer. I am not registered with SEBI and there is no trading and investment advice for you. Consult your financial advisor for any investment and trading. Like, share and subscribe RS Trading. Hi all. Welcome to
हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल। तो आज के वीडियो में हम देखेंगे गैप ट्रेडिंग पार्ट 2। इन द previous video we have studied about what is gap, its basics, and we have go through with the breakaway gap as well. Now today we will discuss balance 3 gaps which come in the places time to time. So let's start. So the second one is the exhaustion gap. So what is exhaustion gap and where it occurs? Let's try to understand with example. ब्रेकअवे में हमने देखा कि जब वो जैसे ही ब्रेकआउट होता है इधर अप साइड और डाउन साइड, तो एक नए ट्रेंड की शुरुआत होती है, देन ब्रेकअवे गैप फॉर्म होता है. लेट्स ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज एग्जॉशन गैप. सो एग्जॉशन गैप्स, दिस गैप अपीयर्स एट द एंड ऑफ ट्रेंड्स. मतलब ये गैप तभी होता है जब ट्रेंड एंड होने वाला होता है. इधर तो बुल मार्केट का ट्रेंड अप एंड होने वाला हो या बेयर मार्केट का ट्रेंड एंड होने वाला हो. लाइक रन अवे गैप्स, दिस गैप्स ऑल्सो आर एसोसिएटेड विथ रैपिड एक्सटेंसिव एडवांस और डिक्लाइंस. During uptrend, it is not followed by new highs, and in case of downtrend, it is not followed by new lows. It is a confirm only when price reverse and close it. So this is the exhaustion gap. So when it occurs, this is the continuation trend, downtrend, then exhaustion gap occurs, then one bull trend, then market go and reverse it. So this is the exhaustion gap. So at the end of trend, this gap occurs. Hello friends, welcome to my channel. So recent example, when Nifty was in downtrend, so before the trend change, Nifty open gap down, huge gap down, that is around 300 points, and immediately recover that low, and from next day the rally started, and now we have moved approximately 17 to 1800 points from bottom. So the exhaustion gaps is like this. This occurs at the end of the trend, whether it is a down or up. Now let's look at another gap, that is common gaps. So try to understand what is common gaps. So common gaps, these gaps normally occur in calm and quiet market, rather trendless market. There are no new highs after an upside gap or new lows after a downside gap. You can find a slight increase in volume on the day of common gap, which return to average volume in the following day. The absence of new highs and new lows, so a lack of bullish and bearish sentiment respectively. So common gap क्या होता है कि वो ना तो ट्रेंड बुलिश होता है और ना ही बेरिश होता है, न्यूट्रल में वो गैप होता है, एंड अनदर डे इट इज़ अ एवरेज वैल्यू. लाइक वी हैव travel approximately, so let's take an example of Nifty indices. So we have traveled approximately 15 to 1600 points from bottom. So the now we already trend, सो अभी क्या होगा, मार्केट एक साइडवेज बनाने की कोशिश करेगा न्यू ट्रेंड को फॉलो करने के लिए, इधर अप साइड और डाउन साइड। सो वो ऊपर नीचे खुलेगा। सो बिटवीन दिस जो गैप होंगे वो नीदर द अपसाइड है नॉर डाउन साइड है, वो एक कंसोलिडेशन के गैप में, कंसोलिडेशन रेंज में वो गैप अप होते हैं, बट एवरेज वॉल्यूम। सो वॉल्यूम ऑन द डे of common gap which returns to average volume in the following days. The absence of new highs and new lows shows a lack of bullish and bearish sentiment respectively. So इसमें bullish and bearish दोनों समान होते हैं, because ट्रेंड की डायरेक्शन अभी क्लियर होनी बाकी होती है। तो ब्रेकआउट और ब्रेकडाउन के बाद ही डायरेक्शन क्लियर होता है। Now another part is continuation gap. So let's study what is continuation gap. So continuation gap, this gap occurs in the middle of powerful trend. Powerful trend means either bullish or bearish, that is trend which is making higher high or lower low without filling the gap. You know, it's almost similar to breakaway gaps, just differ in location. So this is the uptrend, this is the chart showing uptrend, and this is the continuation gap, means जो ट्रेंड में है उसी में बीच बीच में एक गैप अकर्स होते हैं, जो कि एक पॉजिटिव साइन है। अ ट्रेंड विच इज मेकिंग हायर हाइज low lows without filling the gaps. So look at this, मतलब उसके बाद ट्रेंड कंटिन्यूस होता है, वो ट्रेंड और जो गैप अकर हो जाता है उसको फिल ही नहीं होता, वो ऐसे का ऐसे ही रह जाता है और मार्केट फिर न्यू रैली फॉर्म कर देता है। तो दिस टाइप ऑफ गैप अकर्स व्हेन मार्केट इज इन ईदर बुलिश और बेरिश। सो बीच बीच में एक गैप अकर्स होते हैं जो कि फिल ही नहीं होते। Now try to understand what is ex dividend. So in the time of dividend, जब कोई कंपनियां डिविडेंड अनाउंस करती है तो जिस दिन डिविडेंड पीरियड रहता है उस दिन मार्केट नॉर्मली गैप डाउन ओपन हो जाता है। सो दिस गैप्स आर एक्स डिविडेंड गैप। बट उस दिन आप नोटिस करिएगा मार्केट भले ह्यूज गैप डाउन या गैप अप होता है, बट जो उनके ऑप्शन की वैल्यू है वो इतनी फ़र्क नहीं पड़ती और वो उसी रेंज में घूमता रहता है। सो दिस इज द डिविडेंड गैप। इट इज़ कॉमन गैप दैट अपीयर्स ऑन द चार्ट्स व्हेन स्टॉक गोस एक्स डिविडेंड, वेदर डिविडेंड इज इन कैश स्टॉक। This gap rises due to sudden and irreversible alternation in the book value of the issues. Now let's try to understand gap theory trading strategy, ki where we can use this gap as a trading strategy. So these are the gap theory trading strategy. A breakaway gap, sell short and place a stop a few ticks above the gap's upper rim. A breakaway gap, once the price in the range of consolidation then breakdown in the downtrend, then we can place a sell order and our stop loss is just above this candle, so we can continue this trend. An exhaustion gap, price pull back into it next day, the downtrend is over, cover short immediately. मतलब जैसे ही मार्केट ट्रेंड ख़त्म होने वाला होता है तो एक गैप डाउन होता है, उसके बाद नेक्स्ट डे एक कैंडल फॉर्म हो जाती है, बुलिश कैंडल। तो वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड कि अब शॉर्ट कवरिंग रैली स्टार्ट होगी। सो वी कैन प्लेस अ बाई ऑर्डर एंड वी कैन राइट दोस ट्रेंड टू फॉर आवर profit. Another exhaustion gap marked by a lack of new highs after the gap. Several days of cheering offer good shorting opportunities with a stop above the high. A continuation gap in a downtrend. Go short with a stop a few ticks above the gap's upper rim. Price hit that stop a few days later. No method is fail safe. An exhaustion gap closed 2 days after it opened. Cover short immediately. A common gap is the midst of congestion area close to the next day. No action recommended. A breakaway gap, go long and place a protective stop few ticks below the gap's lower rim. A continuation gap, add 2 longs and place a protective stop a few ticks below the gap's lower rim. The gap at the right edge of the chart could be either a continuation or an exhaustion gap. Relative quiet volume suggests continuation. If you buy, place a protective stop a few ticks below the lower rim of this gap. So we can use a different gap as a trading strategy. The two main important gap is the breakaway gaps, because it is a starting of new trend, because in the breakaway gap the price broke up that particular trend and form a new trend. So price एक consolidation में होता है, whether it is a flag pattern, whether it is a rectangular form of pattern, and उसके बाद वो उस रेंज का ब्रेकआउट होता है एक गैप के साथ. देन वी कैन प्लेस अ बाई ऑर्डर एंड आवर स्टॉप लॉस इज द लो ऑफ दैट candles. So we can ride those trend very smoothly. Various examples available in the stock market, like when Tata Motors breakouts, then it is form a huge gap and which is not filled at least 6 to 7 months. And take example of ICICI Bank, when the result announces the ICICI open up at 40 points and it did not fill till I think 7 to 8 months as well. So there are various examples available in the market. You can check with the historical graph and you can mark it. So the breakaway gap is very important because it is a breakout of and form a new trend. And another example is the exhaustion gap, because you know what, when the market is in changing mood, in changing the trend, then the exhaustion gaps occurs. Like sometimes when, like the recent examples, the Nifty is in lower high lower low form of patterns and the market sudden gap down. As such, there is no negative news available in the market, but so like gap, various examples available in the market. You can check with the historical charts. So this, you can remember these two important exhaustion and breakaway gaps, and you can place your order, because it is a good risk reward ratio if you ride the trends. So friends, for today, hope you understand the gap theory, the various type of gap like breakaway, exhaustion gap, continuation gap, common gap. So where two very important gap is the breakaway and the exhaustion, and the continuation and common gap occurs in the trend. So hope you understand the gap theory. We will come up with the example on the different stock and indices in the coming videos. For till time, have a nice day. Hope you understand. So please like, subscribe, which is benefit for the channel as well. Thank you very much.